And welcome to Jackson, Mississippi. We are in the big house. Bogue Chitto and H.W. Byers are going at it in the 1A state semifinals. Glad to have everybody along. I am Nathan Epstein, joined with me courtside by Rod Walker. And Rod, we got two teams going at it that kind of took two separate routes to get here. You have Byers, who lost in the last couple of their games to get here, while Bogue Chitto, on the other hand, they're coming in riding hot. And here are your starting lineups here. You're watching the MHSAA network. You can catch it on streaming. And we are just about to tip things off. Just got things finished up with the national anthem. And in Jackson, Mississippi, we've seen some good games already, and already a good one earlier today with 3A, Rod.
No doubt about it. We got a chance to see Devontae Pollard, the McDonald's All-American, in the first game earlier today. And they're able to squeak out a win over Aberdeen. And now we have another good matchup here in 1A between Byers, a team that has a lot of tradition, especially for a small school. They've been here before. This is their sixth straight trip here to the big house, and they're here again looking for their fourth title.
And again, Bogue Chitto actually, before their South State Championships began, they actually lost 4 of their 6 and had to win 3 in a row to get here. And so now they're taking on an H.W. Byers team. And by the way, the South, their last game out, won their first matchup. That is the North and the South teams. South won its first matchup last time out. Is that surprising to you at all?
Yeah, I mean, we've never had a one half dominate like that. It doesn't seem like Kemper County was able to finally get a win for the South. But, most of those schools in the North was like Northeast Mississippi. That was, Prentice County and those schools up there, and they just really done really well, and they always bring big crowds, so I know the MHSAA will be glad to see those crowds back down here for the championships.
And both teams now taking to the floor. The Byers Lady Lions coming in with a 24-4 record, coached by Jason Thompson. Bogue Chitto, meanwhile, they will act as the road team, wearing their navy blue, while H.W. Byers in the white with green trim.
Yeah, you look at Byers' losses, those losses, only one of them was to an in-state school, and that was to Lanier, which is ranked #1 all season. All the other losses came from out-of-state schools. So, that tells you how good this Byers team is. And one thing about Jason Thompson, he's not afraid to play any teams. He'll schedule anybody, despite them being 1A, and he always wants to kind of just prove that, despite them being 1A, they still can compete with the big girls.
And right off the gun, we have a turnover. Alexis Hardaway walked on the baseline, and now they're going to start the full court pressure, almost get the steal. And do they? Yes, they do.
Yeah, that's kind of how Jason likes to play. He'll play his up-tempo defense and, really just try to create some turnovers and make things happen and make the other teams panic.
They average 15 steals a game, and they got their first one with just under 15 seconds left. Rachita Crutcher with the missed shot, but the putback up and in, and Byers has the first lead of the ball game, 2-0.
Yeah, that was Kyra Gullies there. She's a Division I signee. She signed with Furman already, and one of two D1 players on this Byers team. That's something you don't see a whole lot in these 1A schools that have this many Division I signees.
And Regan Welch, the inbound to Adrienne Wallace, both juniors in the ball game. And Byers going to start off in that man-to-man. Looks like a little man-to-man zone, actually. Staunch so far, and they're going to have to work it back outside. Wallace, trapped in the corner, has to get rid of it. And now right back out to Welch.
Yeah, you look at this Byers lineup. They have some really some tall girls out there with some really long arms, and kind of create some problems trying to get the ball and working it inside.
Avance to Welch, who's going to take the jumper, and that is just in and out. Rebound comes to Gullidge. Out ahead, nobody in front of her. The layup is good, and that is Abria Gullidge, her sister.
Yeah, really impressive fast break there and getting back down the court.
And right back, no good. That was put up by Collins. A lot going on. The referees and officials are right in front of us. Basket is up and good.
I think that was number 14 there. I could barely see the outside of the official, but that's number 14.
So almost 2 minutes gone by, and Byers holds the early 4-2 lead. Bogue Chitto starts off in the man-to-man as well. And it looks like she stepped on the baseline does Abria Gullich, so another turnover goes by way of Bogue Chitto. And already we're having some substitutions into the game for Bogue Chitto.
Yeah, this is a Bogue Chitto team that a lot of people didn't expect to be here. They lost 7 of their top 7 players from last season, and they somehow found a way back to Jackson. I know Coach Taylor's really impressed with this group being able to find a way back.
Crutcher on the fast break, and with the score is Justice Martin. Averages just over 11 points a game. She gets her first bucket of the night.
We talked to Coach Thompson about this team. That's something he talks about. They have a lot of different players that can score. They don't have just one player that they count on, despite they have a damn dozen player in Alexis Hardaway. They have several other girls that can step up and score points. And
way off on the jumper for Avance. And now right back for Byers. Alexis Hardaway.
And that's their dandy dozen player, Alexis Hardaway. She signed with Austin Peay. She's battled some injuries this season, and she's back in championship form, it looks like, right now early on.
And another turnover goes to Byers. Zaria Matthews into the ball game. Only an 8th grader. She turns it over right away. Only an 8th grader, Rod, but averages around 8 points a game. So a very, very talented player and in a very young age.
Yeah, that was one of those things, Coach Terrell talked about. She has these players that had to step up because they lost 7 players off of last year's team. So, you have to go somewhere and get your players, and they had to go down to the 8th graders.
Down underneath, and she hits the bottom of the backboard, but is fouled. That's Alexis Hardaway, so she will go to the free throw line. Approaching 5 minutes left in the first quarter, and Byers leads by 7. And Bogue Chitto really hasn't gotten much going on the inside. They've had to settle with jumpers for most of the way.
Yeah, and this is a young team that, despite them getting here last year, these girls that are actually playing, they didn't get much playing time last year, so they have to get adjusted to playing these goals and the perception and, playing in this big open arena like that. And it's hard for high school kids to adjust to that.
Hardaway, a 62% free throw shooter, makes good on her first attempt, and we're at an 8-point game. Second one just a little too strong and off. The offensive rebound now on the floor, and wow. So Abria Gullich is fouled. And now they're going to inbound from the opposite baseline. So now we're right at 5 minutes remaining in the first quarter.
And Byers jumps out to his early lead, and that was something that Bogue Chitto, I'm sure they wanted to try to keep him at bay early on. And Byers come out, look like they're really ready to try to aim for that repeat.
And Gullich with the missed three-pointer, but McCreelis with the rebound. And now she will go to the line for 2 more shots. So now first problem is on offense. Now the second problem is defensive rebounding.
Right, and that's something that Byers always they do well with it, and you just look at the size that they have, those girls with these really long arms, and Bogue Chitto's going to really have to do a good job of boxing out and trying to get some of these boards.
McCreelis rattles the first one home, and she's only a 40% free throw shooter. Byers looking to make it a double-digit lead. Bit of a slow start here to the first game. Both teams trying to feel things out as she connects on her second, and we do indeed have a 10-point ball game. And another steal, but she misses at point-blank range. That's Gullich with the steal, and again McCreelis with the putback, and she will go right back to the line. Not even a couple seconds have passed.
Right, that Byers pressure is really going to be something that Bogue Chitto's going to have to try to find a way to handle it, or if not, this game could really, really get out of control here. So, you want to find a way to slow that down.
Now at an 11-point game. That's already 4 fouls for Bogue Chitto. And Maddie Avance is going to take a seat as we have a timeout here. So an 11-point game. Byers leads over Bogue Chitto. And we're going to go to break here. You are watching the 1A state semifinals on the MHSAA network.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful.
For more information on how your school can join the Play on School broadcast program and participate in the MHSAA network, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
Welcome back to the Big House in Jackson, Mississippi. Madison McCreelis at the free throw line. She makes good on her second attempt, and it's a 12-point ball game. Again, the Byers press causing damage, and it looks like Bogue Chitto caught a little bit of a break as they call an offensive push-off on Kyra Gullidge. Actually, it looks like they called it on McCreelis. That's only her first foul, the team's second. Bogue Chitto trying to run, but again, a steal. This is a team, again, that averages 15 steals a game, and already Bogue Chitto has barely been able to get it across the half-court line. McCreelis with the offensive rebound. She's been all over the place to start things off.
She really has, just really active around the ball and just getting to it.
And Crutcher with the baseline jumper, no good. Offensive rebound again. Man, Byers just imposing their will. Bogue Chitto has maybe run 2 offensive sets the whole game.
Yeah, that just comes with that inexperience. You know, you look at the roster, they only have one senior on the whole roster, and Aaliyah Durr, and you know, there's something that you're gonna have to try to fight through somehow. And I'm not sure if Coach Taylor will try to slow it down or what she can do to actually do it, because the press is, you know, they're picking up at full court, so kind of hard to get past that.
Kyra Gullidge came into this game, by the way, leading the team in offensive rebounds, leading the team in rebounds overall, and she's shown why so far. Coming back into the game for Bogue Chitto, Regan Welch.
Yeah, and Gullidge, she's coming off some really, really big weeks during the during the playoffs. She's had some 20-20 games with 20 points and 20 rebounds, and just really does an awesome job in the paint. Just kind of hard to defend. You look at those long arms she has, and she's just really hard to stop.
As Gullidge connects on both free throws, 14-point game. Again, the press. Man, oh man, not been able to figure it out. Layup no good again. McCreelis. A 16-point game, and the beat goes on. And a foul's going to be called on Bogue Chitto. This one on Adrian Wallace. 16-point lead, and we've barely played 4 minutes.
Yeah, and this is just kind of how Jason Thompson coaches, and they're gonna really just get after you like this. And one of his big things is, he's a small school, but he wants to prove to people that they belong. We have them ranked in the Super 10 at the Clarion Ledger. Not many 1A schools get in the Super 10, and he wants to let people know that, hey, we are really a good team, and so he's gonna play and get after it.
He's getting out there right now as 18-2. Ball tapped out of bounds, and it's going to be Byers to inbound again. And she finds Justice Martin. Hardaway inside to McCreelis. Not quite there, but I guess I don't have to say anything at this point.
Yeah, they just really dominate on the glass, and clearly Byers is a better team in this matchup, and it's just going to be a matter of if Bogue Chitto can find something to at least try to slow some of these down.
Hardaway a little strong, but gets her own rebound, puts it back. 20-2, and Byers not showing any signs of slowing up here.
No, they're not, and kind of makes you go back to the think about the BCS championship game, and the big thing was if LSU could get the ball past the 50-yard line, and you're kind of seeing that right here. If Bogue Chitto can get the ball up court, it's really having a hard time with this press.
A lot of contact from Kyra Gullidge. Knocked down Adrian Wallace out of bounds, but they say Adrian Wallace just tripped, and so Byers retains possession with an 18-point lead and haven't had a single problem doing it so far.
Yeah, everything they're trying is working, and
Martin for 3. 23-2, it's a 21-point lead. And here comes that trap again. Looked like another steal, but they're going to call a little bit too touchy for Shaddai Nolan, the junior. So Bogue Chitto in territory they're not familiar with already, inbounding from their own side.
Right, you want to see if they can get something out of this and maybe try to run some clock or do something just to give themselves a break or something on the other end.
Matthews feeds it down to Christian Black, who gets fouled. And that's going to be on Kyra Gullidge, her first foul, the senior. So Bogue Chitto will look for something to go for offensively, and that's not it. Throws it into a double team and now throws it away.
You know, in Bogue Chitto, they actually saw this team last year. This is a rematch of the semifinals last year, and like I said, but this is an entirely different Bogue Chitto team. They lost so much off that team, and some of these same Byers girls are back again this year, and you can just see the difference in their experience. It's just really showing here in this first quarter.
And again, they really haven't made too many shots. All their shots have come from inside the paint. A lot of offensive rebounds and already a couple free throws.
Right, and that's what they're going to do.
And now Bogue Chitto with the rebound off the miss, but McCreelis, the steal. Got to be approaching double-digit steals already. For three, Alexis Hardaway.
Now Hardaway, she's the third Dandy Dozen player that they've had at Byers in recent years. They have Rachel Jones, who's over at Jackson State now, and you get Courtney Coleman, who's playing at Troy, and then you have her. Just says a lot for a small school to have this kind of talent year in and year out.
Official says the ball touched the sideline, so it's going to go back to Byers. Inbounding right in front of us, Shadiah Nolan, and now actually she's going to take a seat. Dominique Rubin comes in, the senior.
And for a 1A school, they have a lot of depth. I mean, you see them running these players out there, and there's not any drop-off when he runs these other players out there, and just a testament to a lot of talent at a 1A school.
A lot of experience on this team as well.
Right.
And yet another three goes down. Dominique Rubin right off the bench, contributes right away. Actually isn't known for her three-point shooting. Came into this game, had 8 on the season.
Yeah, just a lot of weapons that can attack you a lot of different ways, this Byers team.
Zaria Matthews now controls the point to Wallace. Wallace inside from the elbow, no good, but she is fouled. So she'll go to the line, and 26-point game. And still can't get anything going, and you can see already we're not even past the first quarter yet. Bogue Chitto looks like they're starting to get frustrated, and there's that depth that you're talking about, Rod, as more substitutions on the way. Lanika Collins coming in.
Yeah, you look at Adrian Wallace when she missed a free throw there. You just see the look on her face, and you just you almost want to just throw your hands up and just wonder what can you do to slow this team down.
And attacking the basket for Byers. And again, it's foul on Wallace. So, what do you think this does to your confidence, considering the fact you got to this point, you got to Jackson, and you're thinking that we have a good chance. Anybody that gets here has a good shot to win it, as the free throw is no good, and then you come here and it looks like it's already a 25-point game, not even in the first quarter.
Yeah, it has to be really frustrating for the girls, but just kind of talking to the coach during the week leading up to this. I mean, she knows this team really overachieved this year, even by getting here. Like I said, just losing so much off of last year's team, and nobody expected them to be here. You look at the T-shirts they're wearing. They mentioned Cinderella, and they said if the slipper fits, wear it. They wanted to be Cinderella and knock off Byers here, but just obviously too much firepower from Byers.
Lanika Collins with the foul. That is her first. Only the team 6, so finally approaching under a minute left to go in the first quarter. And Bogue Chitto looking for only their second field goal of the day.
Yeah, and that's pretty remarkable. I mean, I've been covering games at the Coliseum for a lot of years, and you don't really see a lot of games get this out of hand, but there's a basket there. Right on cue.
Right on cue from the elbow, so only their second field goal of the day. They need a lot more work, though. Maybe a little wild for Byers on the other end was Crutcher.
Yeah, and that's something, if you're Coach Thompson, you don't want to see. I mean, I know you have this big lead, but you still have to, you want to play your brand of ball and take care of business and, move on to the next game and, try to go for that championship. But you don't want to get too sloppy here because you need to stay focused.
And yet another turnover goes right through the hands of Aaliyah Durr, the senior. And really, when you look down this lineup, Rod, you see Bogue Chitto. You see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 eighth graders on this squad. So there you go, right off the miss, just as the buzzer sounds. 31-5. This game has not been close so far. And by the way, if you want to relive these games, you can buy the DVDs. To buy the DVD, just go to www.MHSAA.tv. We'll have all the games for you. So just at the start of the second quarter, (31-5), Byers leads.
It's about as dominating performance as you'll ever see as far as just watching Byers has been able to do everything they want to do in this first quarter here.
And so far, again, you only have 5 points. Reagan Welch, Dillon with 2, Adrian Wallace with only 1 point. That came from the free throw line. And Wallace already with 3 personal fouls. Wallace is one of the juniors, so you talk about lack of depth. That's one of your experienced players already in foul trouble. And if I have to guess, I would say Christy Terrell, the head coach for Bogue Chitto, most likely will put her on the bench for at least a little while. Another steal for Byers going the other way. Tipped, but she didn't see it by Lanika Collins.
Look at the stat sheet. I mean, Bogue Chitto only took 6 shots in the whole first quarter.
And they're going to call a walking foul, so Bogue Chitto with one of their few grabs on the day.
Yeah, Bogue Chitto, they committed 10 turnovers in the first quarter alone, and you know, obviously that's not going to get it done. You know, I watched the game earlier today with Kemper County, and
we'll make that 11, Rod.
There's 11 turnovers right there. Earlier today, Kemper County had 26 turnovers and managed to win. So I mean, I guess you can overcome it, but you know, just not getting enough shots and not getting the ball up on their end to even set up their own offenses.
Yeah, if there's only one thing that Bogue Chitto can look forward to, it's the fact that they still have 3 quarters to play, but like you said, it's just a lot of work to do and a lot to ask of your players on the fast break. Looked like she got away with a walk, was Dillon, but gets it back somehow. Instead, it's Byers coming out of a crowd. Shade Nolan, the football pass over to the left wing, down underneath. That's too easy. Lanika Collins, the recipient of the assist.
Yeah, excellent entry pass there by Byers there.
And they're just still having trouble getting it across half-court line. Easy layup, no problem for Alexis Hardaway. Hardaway now with 10 points in the ball game already in the first quarter. And there's turnover number 12.
Yeah, and Byers, I mean, Hardaway, she's outscored Bogue Chitto by herself so far. And you know, they're stuck on 5, and she's at 10 already.
Lauren Wallace, a junior, coming in for Bogue Chitto. Taking a seat is Zaria Matthews, and you can see head coach Terrell trying to console with Matthews. And a whistle, we're going the other way. So 6:28 left, a game reset. There's really almost nothing to reset. It's just been offensive rebounding. That press-style defense Bogue Chitto has not found an answer for. Out for 3. Just too strong for Anisha Dillon. And now coming out of a crowd, still on the floor, Bogue Chitto gets it back as Dillon fighting for it. And now she'll slow things down out front to Avance. Whoa, looked like she took a little bit too many steps there. Refs didn't catch it though.
Yeah, I think the refs let her get away with one there. I'm not sure if that's because of the score. You just kind of want to give them a little break somewhere, and maybe that's what happened there.
And now they'll give them a couple of free throws. Dillon taking it on the inside, averages 10 points a game. She'll go to the free throw line.
This is a chance for them to pick up some some easy points here. You hope you like to see that anyway.
And just from a psychological standpoint, you just want this game to be competitive for. But like you said, it's a very young team after losing so much a season ago. And it's going to be Lanika Collins taking a seat for Byers.
Yeah, and at some point, I guess it'll be early in the third quarter. Maybe you'll see Coach Thompson maybe go away from the starters and just kind of rest everybody up and make sure nobody gets injured before the championship game. And it doesn't take. You can do that in one trip down the court to get hurt.
29-point game, and the turnover gives it back to Bogue Chitto, inbounding it right in front of us, Regan Welch. The press continues for Byers.
This is a Bogue Chitto team. They beat a good Durant team to they kind of earn their berth to the big house. So I mean, they definitely can play, and tonight they may just be overmatched, but they can definitely play.
And yet another steal for Byers. Not much numbers going, so she'll slow things up. Gullidge back outside to Hardaway. Hardaway setting things up, and now going inside, kicking it back out. Justin Martin just short, but the rebound and the putback won't go. Up back this time, and she'll get an and one to go along with it. Kyra Gullidge.
Yeah, just look how Gullidge is just towering over every head out there on the floor. I mean, she's just really tall, long, lanky player. I mean, she's listed at 6'2" on the roster, and you look at Bogue Chitto's roster, and you don't see many. I don't think they have any 6-footers on their roster. So
average is a double-double, but as of right now, there's a couple players that might be on their way to double-doubles.
Yeah, there's 6. Bogue Chitto has 6 points, and I'm not sure how many players that Byers has that already have outscored that whole team, but there's probably quite a few of them.
Interestingly enough, likes to set herself up a little bit on that right side of that free throw stripe. Makes good on the three-point play, and 32-point lead we're at, approaching 5 minutes left in the half. Jump shot from the elbow, well, she didn't call it, but at this point, they're going to take whatever they can get.
That's right, and still fighting and still trying to. They haven't given up. They're at least trying and doing what they need to do. Got a good rebound here.
And that was Adrian Wallace, who's now fighting for the ball. And look, like you said, look at that size differential. Not much of a matchup for Hardaway. And now Nolan controls it back out. Hardaway looking on the inside, throws it into a double team, and it's knocked out of bounds. And at this point, it looks like Bogue Chitto's fans starting to cheer them on, if nothing else, just for emotional support, because.
And that's what they need right now, man. They just need some kind of, just something to get them going, just some kind of spark to just kind of wake them up and bring them to life here.
It's a 30-point game, and it's really been this way from the outset. Adrian Wallace from the baseline airballs it. And so now Justice Martin with the outlet. Byers looking to run. And bodies just hit the floor. But Byers comes up with it. That's Abria Gullidge.
Seems like every time there's a loose ball, Byers somehow comes up with it and just getting every rebound, it just seems like.
And Gullidge still fighting for it. Comes out of a crowd. Slings it right across to Rashenda Crutcher. And now they'll slow things down at least a little bit. And again, Rod, it's just amazing the fact that they really, all the damage has come from the inside. And right on cue is Kyra Gullidge.
Yeah, I watched Gullidge play last year, and she's really improved in the game. Last year, some of those baskets down low, she may not finish, but she's really doing a good job of finishing today. And
not sure how
that's really just kind of improved her game.
I'm not sure how the refs missed a kick ball there, but ball on the floor. And it comes up to Kyra Gullidge. And one of the few mistakes on the day as the ball is thrown away. Under 4 minutes left in the half. 32-point lead. And Byers is going to call a timeout. So the 8 points by Bogue Chitto. And really, Rod, you've covered a lot of high school championships here. Where does this rank for you as far as, I don't want to say surprising because we see things all the time, but the fact that it's this, the margin is just this big right now in a state championship game, whether experience, no experience.
Yeah, it is surprising. I figured Byers would win this game, but I didn't know they'd dominate this early. I knew they'd eventually pull away maybe, but they've really been dominant. And like I said, they're just on a mission to prove how good they are. And that's something that Jason really talks about a lot, and he's on a mission.
And so far, 16 turnovers for Bogue Chitto. Now, at the same time, Byers has 7, so they're not exactly playing picture-perfect basketball, but at this point, their defense has just been so stingy, they haven't had to do much on offense. And Aaliyah Durr was looking inside for Christian Black, who was well covered on the post. Durr caught on the baseline, and it bounces right off Dillon's knees, but it looks like a foul was called.
Yeah, they're not getting any easy shot attempts from Bogue Chitto. I mean, everything they're getting, they're having to really, really work for it, and Byers isn't letting up at all.
So Onisha Dillon is going to head to the free throw line.
Yeah, she's a sophomore. I mean, it's just a team full of really young girls, and you know,
no good for the 1-and-1, and it's rejected. So back goes Byers. Crutcher underneath the assist. Justice Martin.
Byers does a really good job running that fast break. I mean, they just get it down there, and girls are really unselfish, and they make good, clean, crisp passes.
And you see it kind of transitions over to a zone once they get in the half court. A long three ball. Onisha Dillon now has 6 points, banks it in, and then goes to the other end and gets a block. So how's that for some hard playing?
And that's the second three-pointer they banked in. So, I mean, you know, you just have to get whatever you can take and get a good rebound here as well.
Christian Black with the rebound for Bogue Chitto. And now Dillon looking to inside, has it knocked away. That size starting to become a factor again. Diving for the loose ball is Dominique Rubin for Byers. Instead, it's going to go back to Bogue Chitto. So, yeah, that three looked like it was well off. I thought she was going to airball that thing, and instead
somehow it kissed some of the glass and went in the rim, and sure Coach Terrell was glad to see that.
Under 2 minutes left until the half. And taking a seat is going to be Rubin. Rubin only with 3 points so far in the afternoon, and a steal. This one by Hardaway has a 2-on-1 break. She'll take it in herself, but misses point blank. Gets the offensive rebound. That's been the story all day.
That's right. That's just something that Byers is really just doing well in this ball game, and Bogue Chitto will have to find a way to stop that if they want to get it back in it.
And that's not it. Adrian Wallace looking to split the double team. Instead has it knocked away. We're going the other way. Byers ball. Under 2 left to go in the half. And back in for Byers comes Shadea Nolan. And she'll do the honors of inbounding. Crutcher receives it. And they're going to really try and slow things down. Most likely going to try and run out the clock here.
Well, you hope so in a way.
Yeah. In a way. And there's kind of your proof right there. Hardaway had a clean look at the three. Never mind, she'll take it, but airballs it instead. Reagan Welch, the rebound. The outlet comes to Matthews. Matthews looking to take it 1-on-2. That was pretty.
Good shot by Matthews there. Just driving to the basket. And
so Crutcher right back. Misses the jumper, and with the rebound is Welch, and now she is fouled. So still playing hard.
All right, last 2 or 3 possessions, you know, they've actually got some rebounds, which is something they hadn't been doing. So that lets you know that they're at least still focusing and doing the little things right.
And again, just that size differential is so wide. Speaking of which, comes in Kyra Gullidge, the 6'2" senior. Just towers over everybody going to the line. Regan Welch. Just over 50% from the line this year. And they have not found the touch from the free throw line. McCreelis with the rebound. McCreelis already with 5 rebounds on the day, but again, most everybody's rebounding numbers for Byers is going to go up. Kyra Gullidge gets the ball in a double team, but a steal by Bogue Chitto. Zaria Matthews trying to take it 1-on-1, but she walked with the basketball.
Yeah, I'm not sure if he actually walked there, but the ref had a better angle than I did, and I know the Bogue Chitto fans didn't think it was a travel either. They never do.
May have dragged that last foot, but either way, under 30 seconds left until the half. Byers, maybe an understatement to say they've dominated the first half.
Yeah, I don't know if that word is quite fitting for this situation. As Gullidge again.
And Kyra Gullidge adds to that total, 46 points for the half. Back for Bogue Chitto. Walsh. Now to Matthews, clock running down. Somebody has to take it. They're not going to get it off. So after the first half, 46 points, 13 for Bogue Chitto.
See, Coach Terrell just kind of sits on the bench there and just kind of gathering her thoughts, I guess, to see what she wants to say to her team, you know, in the locker room.
And we're going to go to break here. We'll be right back to start things off in the second half. Total domination by Byers early on, 46-13. They lead over Bogue Chitto. You're watching the state semifinals for 1A on the MHSAA network. And we're at halftime here. Bogue Chitto taking on the Lady Lions of H.W. Byers. Not much of a contest in the early goings. A lot of turnovers for Bogue Chitto. Hard-nosed defense for Byers, and they look like, as of right now, they're on their way to play for a state championship. Nathan Epstein courtside with Rod Walker. We're in Jackson, Mississippi, inside the Big House, and this is we're right in the middle of our schedule for the day, as before this game, our first ladies game of the day, Choctaw played Belmont. Belmont took that one in the opening game in the 9 a.m. game, while over on the boys bracket, over in 3A, Kemper County took on Amerdeen, and Kemper took that one in a very, very good game. Went all the way down to the last 16 seconds. Kemper had to hold on for dear life. They were up 6 for most of the game, and Amerdeen had the last couple shots to win it with about 16 seconds left, but McDonald's All-American coming through.
Yeah, they just weren't able to get that last bucket. They couldn't get over the hump. They fought back. They were down 12 early in the third quarter and just kept battling. The press gave Kemper County fits throughout the game, and they battled back. But Pollard and Nick Giles really stepped up at the end and got Kemper County to the championship game. They'll play a very good Boomer team next Thursday night.
And we still have one more half to play in this one. Second half on the way again. Byers commanding lead, 46-13. You're watching the 1A state semifinals on the MHSAA network. Welcome back to the Big House in Jackson, Mississippi. We are underway in the second half. Bogue Chitto heading from your left to right, and right off the bat, first shot is up and good for Maddie Avance for Bogue Chitto. And the first half was just all H.W. Byers, goes without saying considering the scoreboard, but a lot of turnovers for Bogue Chitto. Couldn't find a way to break the press and couldn't do anything on the inside, and that trend continues with Kyra Gullidge on the inside.
Good thing here to start the second half. You see Byers are not pressing. It looks like Jason's kind of holding back a little bit. That's good to see, and Bogue Chitto gets off to a good start and hit their first 2 shots.
And they hit their first 2 shots, so go figure. But Kyra Gullidge, by the way, 1 rebound away from a double-double, now has 13 points and 9 rebounds. Well, actually, given the fact that she rebounded that last one, now she does have a double-double, looking to add to it, make it 15 points.
Yeah, I'm just really impressed with Kyra, just seeing the improvements she's made from last year to this year. She's really just kind of done a good job of finishing today.
And only missed on 1 shot the entire afternoon. She's now 5 of 6 from the field, is perfect from the free throw line. Bogue Chitto looking to make it the first 3, just in and out, and Hardaway with the rebound. Looking to press. Byers on the other end. Abria Gullidge.
They're really good when they run up and down the floor like that. You can tell they really like that fast break style of basketball.
Now with 4 points has Gullidge. And back for Bogue Chitto, Regan Welch airballs it. 52-17, so assuming something miraculous here doesn't happen, Byers will move on to play in the state championship game, which will take place on Friday, 1 p.m. tip-off.
Yeah, you look at the brackets, they'll play the winner of Coldwater and Hines HS. Byers has a bit of a history with Coldwater. They played them twice this season, actually 3 times this season, and they beat them all 3 times, but they really had a hard time slowing down Geronte Clemens and Southern Miss signee for Coldwater.
Avance kicks it out. Adrian Wallace, too strong off the back iron, out of bounds. We're going the other way, Byers ball. And again, just to recap some of the first half action, 14 offensive rebounds for Byers, only 4 for Bogue Chitto. And defensively, however, a bit surprising that Byers only out-rebounded Bogue Chitto by 2, 9-7.
Yeah, that is a bit of a surprise. Look at that stat. That's something that maybe Coach Terrell could, hang their hats on.
And the double team comes over to Abria Gullidge, who's been the leading scorer, diving for the loose ball. Coming up with it is Bogue Chitto on the other end. Maddie Avance controls it. So still playing hard are the Lady Bobcats.
You know, Coach Terrell, her father-in-law, he's a coach as well, won a state championship at Brookhaven. So, I mean, she's probably got some advice for him, and he's probably been in this situation before where he's just out talented, I guess. But, so she knows, obviously, what it takes to have the team not to give up.
And we've seen 3 consecutive air balls, 2 from Bogue Chitto and now 1 from Byers. The layup no good by Crutcher. She tried to take it in and airballed the layup. So now back for the Lady Bobcats. Avance thought about the 3, may have gotten away with a walk. Instead, they get a bucket out of it. Regan Welch with the jump shot from the elbow.
Yeah, but I mean, Bogue Chitto, you can see a little fight in him now, and Jason has to call a timeout right here. So,
hey, like you said, at least they're still playing hard. You still have Maddie Avance as we're in a timeout now, 52-19. Byers in commanding lead. But the Lady Bobcats still diving for loose balls, going after rebounds, and something as a head coach, something that you love to see moving towards the future.
Oh, without a doubt, if the game would have started right now, the score would be 6-6. But unfortunately for Bogue Chitto, you can't throw that first half away.
Now, on the other hand, for Byers, you can tell they've pulled off that press a little bit. Bogue Chitto had a hard time in the first half, even getting it across the half-court line.
Right, and I know that's something Bogue Chitto's glad to see that they're not pressing anymore, because they really had trouble with it, and that's kind of that's what has this game where it is right now.
So back in for the Lady Lions of Byers, Justice Martin, Alexis Hardaway, Kyra Gullidge, who's leading the way, Avery Gullidge.
You look at Coach Thompson on the sideline now, he's pretty laid back. He knows this one's kind of wrapped up. He's probably trying to decide what he's going to wear for the next game.
Yeah.
He's one of those coaches that really takes a lot of pride in how he dresses for the game, always sharp. And
Alexis Hardaway rattles home the 3 from the left side, extends the Lady Lions lead. And so now the Lady Lions just going to play straight up man-to-man defense. Looking underneath to Durr. And instead she's fouled. Excuse me, that's Dillon, or Alnisha Dillon, who we saw make a couple shots in the first half. Dillon now with 6 points on the afternoon. 2 for 6, actually 1 for 2 from three-point land, so.
Yeah, I think she made one of those shots that banked in off the backboard in the first half, and still struggling from the free throw line here.
So not the most entertaining of games, but we've seen certainly some entertaining shots here. Dillon, after missing the first, connects on the second. Dillon has connected on over half of her free throws this year and pretty much is on tap to do that tonight. Hardaway looking inside. Gullidge. Too tall and too strong.
Yeah, very high field goal percentage in this game for Gullidge.
And tripping and falling on the floor. Excellent defense, and got a little bit too chippy. Shadea Nolan on the defensive side of things. That'll be the team's second foul. Yeah, Coach Thompson, like you said, he just has lying back in his chair, probably thinking about who he'll play in the championship game, as his team leads by 46. Excuse me, by 36.
There's a good chance he's thinking about a possible matchup with Geronte Clemens. Like I said, she's just giving his team fits all season, so he's probably thinking ahead, like, what in the world are we going to do to try to slow her down?
Aaliyah Durr with the bucket on the other end for Bogue Chitto. Inside, an awkward-looking layup, but instead it's Gullidge who gets the rebound, puts it back up. That has been her story all night long. Just hang around the basket, wait for the misses, and go back up.
Yeah, she's cleaning up everything under the board.
Adrian Wallace controlling the point, tries to take it into the trees. Bounce pass to Dillon, can't bank it off the glass. Instead, it's Hardaway comes up with it, looks ahead. The layup is good. Abria Gullidge. Kyra letting her sister get into the action a little bit. A lot of contact, as that is Shadea Nolan who hits the floor hard. But instead it's Nolan who's tabbed with the foul. That's her third of the afternoon.
It's always just so impressive to see all the talent that's coming through Byers the past few years. I mean, just year after year, for a school this size to have 3 Dandy Dozen players in the past 4 years is really, really just phenomenal. maybe more than any school in the state in recent years anyways. And it's just unheard of. A small town right outside of Holly Springs is really producing some basketball talent. That's the thing about Mississippi. I mean, once you get the thing rolling, the younger kids want to play, they want to get to the big house, and it just carries on from year to year, and that's how traditions get started.
Now, speaking of traditions, since around here, it seems to me that Jackson, north of Jackson, and then there seems to be a reputation for good basketball, Jackson and North, and South seems to be catching up, although the South had 9 teams make it into Jackson this year. So why do you think that is? Why do you think that so many teams from Jackson and up north seem to, I think somebody may have tweeted, at least I heard that after the first 6 teams from the South went 0-6 as the layup is up and good by Justice Martin. He said maybe we ought to hold the championships in Tupelo.
Yeah, that was something I put out on Twitter yesterday. That's actually something that the MHSAA is considering. There's a proposal that's coming up for a vote in April where they may split the tournament up and play some of it here and some of it in Tupelo, especially some of the smaller classes, classifications. Because the way the demographics work, most of the small schools are actually in North Mississippi, and just kind of spread it around, let more people in the state get a chance to see some of these state championship games and just spread it around a little bit more.
Coming up is Aaliyah Durr with the rebound, and she's fouled, and fans don't exactly like the blocking call on maybe from that standpoint, just kind of asking the refs to stay out of it, but at this point, like you said a little earlier, maybe trying to help things out a little bit. Under 2 minutes to play in the third quarter, and Bogue Chitto down by 40.
Yeah, and I see Thompson, he's taking Alexis Hardaway out of the game, 1:20 left in the third quarter. We probably won't see her anymore today, at least I hope we don't. Really no need for her to be out there anymore. They seem to have this one wrapped up.
Anisha Dillon, the missed 3, had a good look at it from the left wing. Instead pulls back out. Now the inside. McCreelis lost the ball. Another Lady Bobcat diving for it, but Abria Gullidge adding to her tally with the layup on the inside. I tell you, Regan Welch has hit the ground a lot today. She's dove for every loose ball. The score could be 100-30 right now, and she'll still be diving for the loose balls.
That's right. That says a lot about her.
And now she has control of the ball. Gives it off Zaria Matthews up top. Approaching 30 seconds left in the third quarter. Welch comes right back to her. 42 points is the lead for Byers. Out for 3 is Dillon. Airballs it again. Her last 2 3-point attempts have been airmailed, so 20 seconds left, and Byers will get the ball back. And really, I'm surprised, considering this blowout, I guess not as many timeouts, not as many whistles, so this game has been very, very fast.
Yeah, that's a good thing. I'm sure some of the Bogue Chitto fans probably thinking, hey, it's not fast enough, but yeah, it has definitely moved by fast. And
the 3 ball just too strong, but the rebound and the putback as the buzzer sounds. Asha. So 66-22 is the lead. And these games are also available on demand again at Mississippi MISSHSAA.TV if you like to catch the live streaming and on demand. We're right now in the 1A state semifinals. And the games can also be seen on Mississippi Public Broadcasting live on television coming up next weekend. 66-22 is the lead. Fourth quarter now about to get started. And really one thing also, Rod, that we haven't seen, and fourth quarter now underway. Byers will be moving on. And the game, one thing I was going to say, Rod, was the fact that Bogue Chitto Not that they had many reserves to go to in the first place, but we have seen little to no substitutions from head coach Terrell in this game.
Yeah, you think she eventually, get these girls some experience of playing on this big house floor, and just let them soak in and enjoy the moment. I know you're losing, but these kids, the rest of their lives, they'll be able to say they played at the Mississippi Coliseum. You talk to coaches all the time, and they always talk about you can't take getting here for granted because it's so hard to get here, and they only take 2 teams from the north, 2 teams from the south. Something that may change in future years, but once you get here, you need to try to enjoy it and let everybody enjoy the moment.
Well, and another thing, when you speak of the emotion that comes with making it to Jackson, as short on the 3 is Maddie Avance for Bogue Chitto. One of the things that we've noticed so far is these teams that battle and that are in these games to the very end, the emotion that comes out of the team on the losing side. They know that it's so hard to get here, like teams from the NFL and the NBA always say when they make it to the championship game, you don't know if you're going to get there ever again. So you try to make the most of your opportunities, and layup no good by McCreelis. The offensive rebound, the putback, and 1. Justice Martin. And that's going to be the team's first foul of the quarter. Martin looking to add to it. Rolls it right in. Are they going to say that the basket was not good? No, they are. Not exactly sure what the refs were signaling at one point, but nevertheless, game goes on and the beat goes on. On the fast break, Shadiah Nolan, the layup, good.
You just look at the score, and all season long, the Byers has definitely been the class of in 1A. They've been head and shoulders above everybody else, and so this is just kind of what they've done all season. And they were in a really, really tough division. It was Byers, Coldwater, Murder, Ashland. All 4 of those teams were really, really good, and so they were really battle tested night in and night out. And the South wasn't quite as strong. I think Heinz A. was the only team that was even ranked in Class 1A this season. So it just tells you how strong the North was, especially in 1A girls this year.
And there's a basket by Bogue Chitto. 24 points now is the total. Right back for Byers, a little too strong for Abria Gullidge. Ball goes out of bounds, and ref signal we're going Lady Bobcats' way. Our next game of the day, the 2:30 tip-off, Biggersville and Durant. And what do you see out of that game coming up?
Durant comes in here, the defending state champions, and a lot of people didn't think that team would be quite as strong this season as they were last year, but they found their way right back. It's a school that always is talented in both football and basketball. Both of those guys, which is typical in 1A, they play both sports, and so they got back to Jackson. And Biggersville's a team that's really, really good and well coached, and that's something that you always seem to say about those teams, especially ones up in Northeast Mississippi. They're well coached, and that's kind of how Biggersville is.
And
a really good matchup.
And Aaliyah Durr with the 3 ball for Bogue Chitto. And Byers trying to run the clock out a little bit, passing it around. McCreelis with the rebound, had it, now lost it out of bounds. Approaching 5 minutes left in the game, and Dominique Rubin will come in for the Lady Lions. As Abria Gullidge will take a seat. Now back for Bogue Chitto, taking it baseline into a double team. She's fouled on the way up. Just trying to play for a little bit of pride at this point. Bogue Chitto.
They're still playing hard. That's something you like to see. And you look at this roster, there's a good chance this team will get back here again. I mean, only losing 1 senior, and so they'll take from this experience and try to get better and get back here again next year and go a little further.
And one of the words you mentioned also, Rod, was the class of 1A. Well, looking ahead to some of the later games on Monday and on Tuesday, Wednesday, the defending state champ in 5A, Wayne County, coming in. 6A, you have some of the teams coming in. Well, speaking of which, Wayne County in 5A, that's one of the teams that intrigues me because they had not won a state championship since, I believe, 1983.
Yeah,
and last year they come back, and now they're looking to repeat.
Yeah, Coach Norman's done a phenomenal job there. They only lost 2 games over the past 2 seasons, and this season the only loss was to Lanier. Really close game, and they have 2 Dandy Dozen players, and Gator Worsham and Avery Woodson. And Wayne County's kind of known for its success on the football field with the job that Coach Boyles has done down there. Because Norman's kind of made it a basketball school as well.
And now Adrian Wallace with the layup. 40-point game. Approaching 4 minutes left in the ball game. And yeah, Wayne County, of course, Marcus Boyle's on his way to Petal High School now. Petal with just a heart-wrenching loss in the 6A state playoff game, or 6A state championship game last year, I should say.
Yeah, and also Wayne County, Gina Skelton's done a great job with the girls, and she has them here again this year. This is her 14th trip to the Coliseum. They're one of just 3 schools that got both their boys and girls here, which is always impressive. We can get both teams here. Coldwater, Bayhigh, and Wayne County all got both boys and girls here. That's pretty phenomenal.
73-31, your game reset. It's been all offensive rebounding, all putbacks, and just all defense from HW Byers. They're going to move on to the state championship in 1A. Bogue Chitto finishes their regular season with an 18-12 record.
And I guarantee you after this game, Coach Terrell will talk about how proud she is of this bunch, because I think she probably even surprised herself getting this team here just with all the losses they had last year. I mean, 7 starters, well, not 7 starters, 5 starters and the 2 top reserves. That's a lot to replace. You look at her now, she has a smile on her face. Girl beside on the bench dancing a little bit. They're just enjoying this moment. They didn't expect to be here, and here they are.
And really, they had to take down Stringer 58-48, and that was an upset in and of itself. Stringer was red hot towards the end of the season.
Without a doubt, they beat Stringer on their home court, and that's always hard to do, to go to somebody's hometown and beat them on their own home court. So for them to do that, that really says a lot, and that was kind of the game that got them here.
The team's 7th foul. Bogue Chitto will head back to the line. Dylan. Under 4 minutes left. Coming back into the game, Abria Gullidge. Abria and her sister Kyra had quite the ball game. Kyra had a double-double just after halftime. And man, the bank has been open all day for Dylan. Banks in a three-pointer, now banks in a free throw. I would say the only thing that's left is to bank in a regular shot, but I guess that wouldn't make any sense. I guess that's just a regular shot.
Yeah, I guess that's something she teaches them. They hit that square and maybe it'll go in. It's been working for Bogue Chitto today.
3 players in double figures for Byers. Kyra Gullidge with a double-double, 19 points and 10 rebounds. McCreelis loses the ball out of bounds, so it'll go back to Bogue Chitto. And her sister, Abria, with 8 points, no rebounds. She's one of only 2 players on Byers without a rebound on the day.
Yeah, that's an amazing stat there.
And so now we're going to see some of the reserves from Byers get their time in. Making her first appearance of the day for the Lady Lions, Precious Rogers, the junior, 5'7". But you talk about the depth on this team, she still averages 3 points a game coming into this game.
Yeah, and, this Byers team is really, they played well all season. They get a lot of big leads on teams, and, that's something that helps you, because when that happens, you can put some of your reserves in, they get some experience, and that just keeps building and building over the years, and you get a powerhouse. That's kind of how powerhouses are formed.
Ball knocked around and stolen by Bogue Chitto. Zaria Matthews thought about stopping and now kicks it outside. The layup no good by Adrian Wallace, but they get it back. Wallace receives it again. Baseline jumper, yes sir.
Wallace she's kept playing hard the whole game throughout all this.
So now under 3 minutes left, and not sure the players exactly want to stop playing. As you said, it is Jackson, and they're going to probably cherish every moment that they have, but the fans are probably hoping the clock runs a little faster at this point. But like you said, it's a surprise that they even got here, considering they had to win their final 3 games just to get here.
Yeah, the road to Jackson's gotten a lot tougher over the years. They started taking just 2 teams about 3 or 4 years ago. They were taking 3 teams, and it was a little easier, but now the path's a lot tougher. So, they beat a good Durant team, and then they beat a good Stringer team on their home court.
So under 2 minutes left, and it looks like Byers is just content to run things out. Bogue Chitto just trying to make sure they don't allow any more buckets on the inside. The bank is good. Precious Rogers with her first points of the day.
Yeah, Precious gets her name in the newspaper tomorrow, and takes a shot there late.
And back is Wallace. She banks it up and in. And there you see it, still attacking the glass hard for her. It may as well be the start of the game. And the timeout is taken by H.W. Byers, and I suppose he's just doing this again to get more of his reserves in. 75-36. And we're going to head to break real quick. We'll finish things up. 1:14 left. H.W. Byers on their way to the state title. And H.W. Byers is on its way to the 1A state title game. H.W. Byers just all offensive rebounding, defense, everything you'd want out of a state champion, potentially. Precious Rogers with 1 minute left to play. And now Byers is content to just run things out here. 75-point total, only allowing 36 on the afternoon. Everybody from the Byers bench has scored. Bogue Chitto on the run. Wallace the dish. Up, no good, but 37 seconds remaining. Again, everybody on the bench has scored for Byers, and not a single player from Bogue Chitto has scored in double figures. But that may change now with Wallace, Adrian Wallace going to the line. She has 9 points, now make it 10.
See Byers have an 8th grade in the game now, number 15, Asia Glover. She's 6 feet in the 8th grade, so I'm sure she still has some growing to do, and as far as physical growth, and you know, she could be the next Kyle Gulledge, I guess, for Byers.
And the fans giving an ovation to Lacey Montgomery, another 8th grader coming in, but not very big in stature, as you can see. But how about that, an 8th grader? And as an 8th grader, how does that feel, getting your first appearance in Jackson, whether it's for the last 5 minutes or for the first 5 minutes? It's got to be something special, and Bogue Chitto will work to get back here next year.
Without a doubt, you know, she has 4 years to play, but those 4 years, there's no guarantee of a trip to the big house. So, yeah, she needs to soak it all in.
20 seconds left. Byers on their way to the 1A state title game, and they will either play Hines or Coldwater, which will be broadcast right same place at 6:30 tonight. Again, the 1A state title game as Wallace goes on the inside on the fast break. Final buzzer sounds, and H.W. Byers, no problem in this one. 75-39 the final. The Lady Lions are on their way to play for a 1A state championship. Again, they will either play Hines or Coldwater. That game tonight tips off at 6:30.
Yeah, Coach Thompson will be going for the 4th title in 5 years. He's won 2 in 2A, now trying to win 2 in 1A.
And Bogue Chitto, on the other hand, a very, very young team, as you said, didn't expect to get here. $75-39. Now, what do you think head coach Christy Terrell takes from all this, knowing that, well, we had a rough game, but in the end, who knows, young team.
I think she knew coming in here just how good this Byers team was, and she knew they were probably overmatched. And, you know, like I said, they're just glad to be here almost. And this probably wasn't a team that she thought would win a state championship this season, but just the experience they take from here is going to help them out tremendously down the road.
So your final score in the 1A state semifinals, 75-39. The Lady Lions prevail, and they are moving on. They will play Hines or Coldwater. That game tips off at 6:30. You've been watching the 1A state semifinals on the MHSAA network. It's been fun, everybody. For Rod Walker, this is Nathan Epstein. We'll see you later.